Well, you don't have to wait now because we're live. Hi, everybody.
Hey,
It's like there's just no pleasing some people. Anyway,
that is well.
I know that's that's that.
I'm sure those people do exist for which there is no pleasing them. They are probably few and far between. I think most people it is possible to please one way or another.
And you are certainly not one of those people. It's just sometimes we give each other a hard time, especially you give me a hard time about, not starting exactly on the
About
hour and
in cases in which you're wrong. You're like you said, all I have to do is click go live. No, you had to click go live. You had to wait for it to go through. You could have clicked go live a little bit before, but then you didn't.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting to make sure you were ready.
I was so ready,
Okay.
Steve.
Okay. Okay. Hey, I
Hmm.
we usually do our little bit of
Tap dance.
15 20 minutes of chit chat here at the beginning, and I still want to do that. But let's not forget, you and I have a couple of disputes that we want to
Mm-hmm.
throw to the
Wait, a
audience.
couple?
Well, two.
Two. Okay.
There's a movie related one and a
Uh-huh.
furniture related one. Remember the furniture related
Oh
one from
yeah.
last
Oh
night?
yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay. So the movie so we're throwing this to everybody in the chat. So please share with us your opinions and who you think is right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the first one is a couple days ago, you showed me the movie Moulin Rouge, which I had never
Mm-hmm.
watched,
Right.
and which you really, really enjoy, right?
I do. I won't say it's one of my favorite movies, but I always like it.
Right.
It
So
is
I
consistently enjoyable.
right.
It's good.
Yeah. Okay. So that is your position regarding Moulin Rouge, that it is good. So I had never seen it before. This was my first time seeing it.
However, you
Yes.
knew that it was directed by Baz Luhrmann.
I did know it. Yeah. And by the way, David C. Drake, no, we will watch the recap just so everybody is on the same page.
Synced up.
Um, but yeah, okay. So yeah, I knew it was directed by Baz Luhrmann.
Man,
So,
are you?
huh?
You're not a fan, are you?
No, not really. Um,
And by not really, you mean not at all.
well, here's what. So we watched the movie. We watched Moulin Rouge, and I hated it. Like I don't use that word lightly because I think as I say on late seating with Jason, I try not to use the word hate for a movie unless there's like something morally objectionable about it. And just to be clear, I found nothing whatever morally objectionable about Moulin Rouge at all. To the extent that it has moral or political content, I agree with it. I think its heart and head seem to be in the right place from what I can tell. Those things are. Um, but just in terms of its style and just pretty much everything, just the whole thing, I did not like it at all. So to the people in the chat, do you agree with me that Mulan, and obviously those of you who have seen the movie, do you agree with me that it's a huge piece of shit, or do you agree with Dana that it's a good movie? They're out to trick asking who is Baz Mayo. I would see at least one movie directed by someone named Baz Mayo. Yeah, Homebody. Yeah, let's just be clear. Homebody. I'm not saying it's meh. I'm saying it's an awful movie. I did not. I believe the way I described it to Dana after we finished watching it was I did not enjoy a single second of it. Um, I was either annoyed or bored by it the entire time. Mostly annoyed. Um, a lot of people kind of there's a couple people saying it's fine, which I did
Yeah.
I didn't
I
expect.
expected it that it would be a love it or hate it kind of
It
movie.
would be polarizing, yeah. Like either you would really connect with it and think, oh, this is amazing, or you'd be with me and you'd be like, oh God, fuck, I don't want to.
I figured that you would not like the style, but I thought you might have a soft spot for the romance angle. Come what
Well,
may, I will love you till my dying day.
here's the thing. In
You
probably
big
and
sap.
in probably any other movie, I would, because you're right. I am very susceptible to that kind of story for sure. Um, but there's just so much. There are so many layers of irritant, like on top of that story that I can't. Like in theory, I think yeah, you're absolutely right, but in practice, no, I can't even get to it. Um, 255 AD has asked both of us what's wrong with Baz Luhrmann. You said nothing, whatever. Um,
Nothing, whatever, nothing, whatever. That's very important.
I find him to have a gross excess of style. I think he is
See,
the
that doesn't make sense. How could you have too much style?
show. I think a couple days ago we watched a movie that's 2 hours of worth of an example of how you can have too much style. I
And I think you're wrong.
I find yeah. Well, I know. Um, I find him obnoxious as a filmmaker. I think he's exhibit A of a director who does not know how to get out of his own way, who does not know how to just tell a story. He has to constantly be showing off and throwing everything with a flourish and embellishment, and it's just like, oh my god! Like the example I use is um, he did a version. He did a film of The Great Gatsby, which is a book I really enjoy. It's one of my favorite books. And there's never really been a very good movie made about it. Like I wouldn't say it's unfilmable, but all the movies made about it have just been kind of eh. Baz Luhrmann's movie is actually maybe the best movie of The Great Gatsby. But the problem with it is, for about the first half an hour, it's a Baz Luhrmann movie.
That it's increased because when we talked about it, you said it was the first 20 minutes.
20 minutes have somewhere in that neighborhood. Somewhere in that neighborhood. The first act is a Baz Luhrmann movie, and it's just excess and style over substance and quick cuts and music and just bombastic and obnoxious, right? Once he gets all of that out of his system
See, I
and
don't
set
think that's what happened.
and settles, well, whatever happened, that's how it feels. Once he gets all that out of his system and settles down and decides to make a movie like a grown up, it becomes a really good movie. Um, I'm sorry. It's his work feels incredibly immature. It feels like a hyperactive kid who got control of
All
a
the
movie studio.
colors got the 96 Crayola pack.
And yeah, and said color in the lines.
Forget that.
But so Moulin Rouge is like that if it just never settled down. It's like that all the way through.
See,
So
Rafaki, I love the idea, almost all of the ideas in his Romeo and Juliet. I love the concept of the sort of godfatherish quality of Lord Capulet. I think that works really well because the story isn't about love, it's about honor more than anything. It's about honor, not romance, not romantic love. It's not about love, it's about honor. And that captures thematically, that connects with what we believe about honor and family honor and loyalty and who you're loyal to much better than any other version of it. The two things that it left out that I think need to be and I've never seen in a production of Romeo and Juliet are, number one, that Juliet is so clearly a daddy's girl. I mean, she's his heir. Like, that's not typical. And then the other thing is, I've never seen the fight between Tybalt and Romeo handled as it's shown in the script. It needs to be just very fast, very sudden. Like, it needs to be jarringly sudden.
right.
Nobody ever stages it that way.
Not like a
it's
big
a fight.
fight.
We're gonna, No, nobody ever does that. They always make it this big fight, and it's not like, literally. Benvolio later says, "Ere I could draw to part them was what was Tybalt slain." Maybe even says stop Tybalt slain. Anyway, but so like the other one, they're bandying back and forth, and tease it goes on and on. But like the other, and there's stage directions here and there in between the dialogue. But like, there's no dialogue for the fight with Romeo and Tybalt. It's 4 words. They fight, Tybalt falls. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's supposed to be really sudden.
Yeah.
Because and the reason for this, and it's not in the text, but it seems pretty clear, especially if you think about honor, is that Tybalt comes back so that he can let Romeo kill him. Because, I mean, he has broken the prince's law. He will be publicly executed. The family will be dishonored. But he can mitigate that if, through his death, he places the blame on the Montagues. So it's a strategic maneuver to save his legacy and his family's honor, because he cares about honor so much, as much as anyone in the play.
So he's not even trying to win the fight.
No, he's deliberately trying to provoke Romeo and to lose the fight and get killed.
It reminds me a little bit when the way you describe it, and how it's, it's never been done justice in the movies because everybody has to make it like a big scene. Reminds me of the way pretty much every Western that deals with the gunfight at the OK Corral stages that, because it's always staged as like this big, like shoot 'em up action scene. And pretty much every historian agrees that the actual fight was over in a matter of seconds, because like it's a bunch of people shooting at each other. Like it's not going to last very long.
Yeah.
The people who got killed real quick,
Again, here's the thing. I don't care about that. I care about the story.
And
yeah. So I mean,
me too.
It makes sense to have it a long drawn out fight. That's fine. But in this case, it underscores that idea better to have it, especially in those two fights right next to each other, have one be sort of playful and take that sudden turn at the end, and then have the other one be intense and brief and just jarring. So
yeah.
Geraldo Trekkie, I have no idea. I've seen Midsummer Night's Dream actually relatively recently. And I've only ever seen it live. We went to the Atlanta Shakespeare Tavern and saw it pretty recently because they just opened back up for live theater. 255 AD, I'm not familiar with Boardwalk Empire.
I've never watched it. It's a series. It's a series. It's either clearly. It's either on HBO or Showtime. I can't remember which one, but no, I've never watched it. Hi, Sarah. Glad you made it.
I don't think the whole thing is Sarah. Hey, I don't think the whole thing is campy. I do think Mercutio's performance. That's another thing I'd like to see. I think Mercutio is very young. I think it also works to have Mercutio be trans or female, because pretty clearly in his actions and especially in his dialogue, he's constantly trying to prove his masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole way through. And so there's, having him be, I think you get a little bit of that with him, dressing in drag during the Capulet party and the Baz Luhrmann one, but it's not, that's more of a, they're all kind of doing wild. It's kind of a bacchanalia. So,
I do want to before we get too much further into the show, I do want to bring up
the
second conflict.
Of disagreement. Yes, let's go.
Okay, so this is in a completely different venue, right? This has nothing to do with movies or anything. This is a furniture related disagreement that Dana and I had.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead. No,
you're the one who brought up furniture.
Well, okay. The disagreement is, which piece of furniture is more like a bathtub? Okay.
A bed?
So
or a couch?
Yes, you say a bed.
Wait.
I say a couch.
Fine. Okay. I was gonna let people pick.
Oh, you were gonna you wanted it to be unprejudiced. I see. It's too late now. Well, I fucked that up. Sorry. But
congratulations.
We should have God damn.
You should have just shut your mouth, Steve. Jeez.
Well, or I guess maybe we should have huddled up in the middle before
happens.
Wow. You are one to talk. You are one to talk.
But when I say something, it has value.
Damn. Damn. You see how she cuts me to ribbons on my own channel?
I know. It's so much. It's you make it so easy.
So my argument is that the couch is the tub of furniture, because a bathtub is a sunken vessel. When you get into a bathtub, you have a wall on all sides, And a couch doesn't have a wall on all sides, but it has walls on three sides because it has the arms on the ends and then it has the back. So especially when you stretch out on the couch, you're constrained, particularly if you're like a tall person like we are. You're constrained. You have your feet are stopped by the arm on the far end, and you have the back is like the side of the tub on this side, and then there's the sides of the tub at your head and your feet. So I say the couch is more like a tub, but you have the bed argument.
So I say that it's more like a bed because when you're sideways on the couch so that you can stretch out like you can in a tub, first of all, you're not really submerged the way you are in a tub and the way you are in a bed with your blankets and you snuggle up under the covers. Okay. Additionally, you're more straight back. With the couch, I find that I'm sort of leaning against the cushioned side, whereas the tub, the sides are there to hold the water in. They're not really comfy for leaning against. You lean back, not to the side. If you lean back on the sofa, you're on a couch, you're against the arm and it's not, whereas the back of the tub is tilted. And also if you're leaning back on the bed, that's where your pillow is. So it's more tilted. The angle that you're reclining at is much more bed-like in the tub than it is, when you're leaning back on the sofa. So.
Yeah.
No, Rafaki, it's not just about sinking down into it. It's about its surrounding it. I mean, I don't know how deep you run your bath, but like submersion here, you gotta have it over. If it ain't over the legs, then I'm getting chilly, y'all.
Right.
Just the whole like immersive experience is much more like a bed. Under the covers, all snuggled. Yeah.
Kemp is on your side.
Kemp is on my side, and
Grady,
so is Grady.
Grady is emphatically on your side. No, Azalea, Azalea, it won't be 20 more minutes until the episode starts. We're going to start the episode here in a few minutes, but
oh, now I want a bagel.
I know. I know. As soon as somebody mentioned bagels, I was like, bagel bread. What? Are you at all swayed by the visual argument?
No,
because
I don't care what it looks like. A tub is not about what it looks like. It's about the sensation.
But if the argument is which piece of furniture is more tub like,
yes,
you don't think it doesn't matter to you at all that a couch looks more like a tub.
I don't care about what it looks like.
Okay,
it doesn't.
See, I feel like this is part of the root of our disagreement here.
Maybe because here's the other thing. If you've watched my video about the blue curtains, you can tell that I don't care what furniture looks like.
Right.
Don't care. Really,
you care
really
about function.
Care. 25580, the pizza hasn't arrived yet, and I'm gonna have to wait.
I've got mine right here, by the way, but I'm waiting until we start the episode as usual. Oh, I like that. That's sneaky. Show me your ring fingers.
I know. Look at those ring fingers.
Sneaky.
Look at those ring fingers.
Sneaky.
Steve, showing off your pizza. How rude is that? I don't have mine.
You know I have it. You saw me walk in with it before we went on the air.
I know, but you didn't have to just right there for the camera be like, I have pizza now. You don't.
I'm sorry. I deeply, humbly apologize.
I don't believe you, but that's okay. I forgive you anyhow. Grady, no, actually, I haven't. I literally cannot. I can't get, or I haven't tried it recently, but I can't get blackout drunk. Like I'll barf before that happens, and that's just. I don't, by the time I'm that drunk, I don't mind barfing, but it's wasteful. Alcohol's expensive.
and also I almost
exactly, Geraldton. How rude.
And in my experience, I have almost always left parties before I was there long enough to get that drunk, because leaving a party is my favorite reason to go to a party. The Irish exit is one of my favorite. The whole reason to go to a party is to stay there for a couple hours and then to just leave without even saying goodbye to anybody. That is my favorite thing in the world about parties.
Although, Grady, I will say there have been times when I'm so comfortable and I'm like, I have to get out of the tub or I'm going to fall asleep. But it's so nice in here and I don't want to get out of the tub, but I'm going to fall asleep. And if I fall asleep, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have a creep in frozen. My neck and my back, and I'm going to be cold and I'm going to feel awful. I have to get out of the tub. Oh boy, oh boy. Also, Truckee, I saw about Fuller House, but I never watched it. Pizza!
Is that pizza? Yeah,
That
I
needs
never
that look at. Oh, it's
see
so
now
beautiful.
now we're even. Now we're even.
Now we're even.
I considered watching
Garage occasionally, but usually I have to drive. So there's that.
I considered watching Fuller House for about 10 seconds, and then I thought, I didn't even like Full House that much. Why would I watch the new version of it? Now,
I
if they
like
came
Full
out
House, but I just don't like TV
now,
now.
if they came out with Perfecter Strangers, I'm watching every episode of that.
What if they came out with Perfect or Stranger-ers?
Perfecter Stranger-ers, even better. As long as Marklin Baker and Bronson Pinchot are in it, I'm watching every second of it.
Ooh, 255 AD, that's a really good point. Huh. But no, usually you get to the point where, I mean, I used to get to the point where, just feeling a little tipsy and then you're just like, whoa, that was too much. And then it just all goes. And like you can kind of tell, like you can taste it when it comes back up.
Yeah.
That it's still.
Yeah. And Chris Kringle and Isaiah Jane both getting to the same joke at the same time. What about Family or Matters? I was never Matters or I was never as big of I preferred Family Matters to Full House, but I was never a big Family Matters fan either. I was there for Perfect Strangers. Perfect Strangers was what I was there at TGIF for. Once Perfect Strangers was over, I was not as loyal of a TGIF viewer. I was there for Perfect Strangers. But anyway, so shall we start our Deep Space Nine episode? So everybody, just in case
I've had something spoiled, by the way. Something. Bejor is a failed something. Planet, colony, civilization, something. Somebody said something on
failed state.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody said that.
I mean, it's a matter of interpretation.
Okay.
But anyway, thank you, Corey. I agree. Perfect Strangers is clearly the superior sitcom.
I'm on Netflix, Grady.
Yeah, we're watching it on Netflix. It's available in a bunch of different places. But so we're going to watch the second episode of season 2 of Deep Space Nine, titled The Circle. So, and of course, we're starting from the very beginning. So make sure you've got it queued up to 0000. And when we start watching the show, the time code will appear at the top of our video here, and it will be counting down from a negative number. That's the time remaining because of the way that the counter works on my Netflix interface. So that's where the time code will be if you come in and you need to catch up or you lose your place or whatever. And when we get to a commercial break, I'll give us a cue to pause and we can all pause and, resync.
Or you'll say, let it play.
Or sometimes I'll say, let it play if it's like a short segment or whatever. But yeah, just, pay attention to the episode, pay attention to us, and we'll all
and
be
listen
just
to Steve.
fine.
It's very important.
Yes,
except when he goes on and on about stuff.
Or apparently when I say that a couch is more like a tub than a bed.
Or when you say that Moulin Rouge isn't a good movie.
You should definitely listen to me about that, though.
Except that you're wrong.
Throughout the Trekkie, what about Stepper by Stepper? And Azalea got there too. That's I used to watch Step by Step. I was never a huge fan of that either, but I used to watch it.
There's our age difference because they say that and I'm like, step by step.
Oh, New Kids.
Ooh, baby.
I know that
Gonna
one.
Get to your girl.
I know New Kids. You're not that far ahead of me.
You went like I knew that they were talking, but immediately.
Well, because they were talking about the sitcom. They were talking about
the sitcom, and yet my brain went immediately.
Really want you in my world. Yes, Felky's S. Yes, the recap is included in our version. So we're gonna watch the recap, the last time on Deep Space Nine. We're gonna watch that and then go straight through. So here we go. Are you ready?
I'm still ready, Steve.
Are you ready?
Is my Netflix ready? Let's find out.
Yeah, check and make sure your Netflix is ready. Are you ready?
If I do that, then we're gonna have to wait for me to go back.
Well, we'll wait.
Okay, fine.
We'll wait.
Okay. Well, it was ready, so we could have started.
Oh, okay. Well, that's go back and we'll be good. You ready?
Nope. I'm trying to bring it back, but it keeps.
I know. You seek it back to 0, and sometimes it auto plays. Grady, it's season 2. We're watching episode 2, season 2, The Circle.
Tutu.
Okay.
Tutu. Like in ballet.
Yay, Tutu. Two Faces, favorite episode. Okay, here we go. I'm going to count us in from 3. We'll do 3, 2, 1, play, and hit play on play. Okay. 3, 2, 1, play.
They call themselves the Circle. Good gravy. Like,
They really should have hired a marketing firm.
nobody. That's. I mean, I can accept the space station, but good gravy, the Circle.
The Circle.
Dumb.
It's like in one of my other old favorite shows, Nowhere Man, where the conspiracy's name was the organization. It's like, well, you really hurt yourselves coming up with that, didn't you? It needs Ben Horn.
No, a symbol is apparently what the Circle is.
Azalea is starting a group called the Ellipse. Well, good for you.
It's like in Firefly. But you don't need two mechanics. You're right. I know.
Yeah, exactly. 255 AD. It's Richard Nixon and Skeletor and Dracula and Perry White.
Oh. That's what you don't like.
Yeah. You could have asked me first.
And then we'll promote it. Right now, we don't know what the heck.
It's like, oh, back it up. Roll that back a second. You promoted her, but you don't have a spot for her? Say what?
Food. Not that I'm familiar with 255 AD.
I'm not sure if it is. I would assume it is, but I've never heard it outside of this episode.
It is certainly not a real proverb.
The circle drew a circle.
Not.
Oh no. Sarah, yeah, it's either this one or the next one with that scene you're talking about with Kira and Dax. I can't remember if it's this episode or the third part, but yeah. Yeah, Azalea, exactly. It's one of my favorite Star Trek tropes when people call on the comm link and they say, "You better come down here," and they offer no details as to what is happening. Or like something will happen while they're on a planet and they're talking to the whoever's on the ship, and the captain will be like, "What's going on?" And the away team will just say, "Trouble." And it's like, no, just specifically tell me what's going on. Speaking of opening title sequences, the opening title sequence of the upcoming Star Trek show, Star Trek Prodigy, was released online yesterday.
Nerd.
And it's a ship flying in space. Who would have ever imagined such a thing as the opening credits for a Star Trek show?
Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, Draw to Trekkie, I liked it too. I thought it was a little long, but you know, a lot of, as we just saw, there are quite a few Star Trek opening credit sequences that are a little long.
Oh, there's always a choice. Wow.
I hate rules.
Aw.
That's not what I was saying, but thank you. Everything's free. Just keep everything.
Which two? Oh God. there are so many possibilities here to
Yeah.
55 AD.
Yeah. It's great.
Ah.
Can I get in on this crackling dialogue?
5D, yes, exactly. You'd had a letter, and you'd had a letter, and you'd had a letter. Get on with it! I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
255 AD, yeah, you would think. Yeah.
Philip Kehoe, my friends, and him,
And Quark.
and that guy.
He brought booze. He's fine.
A
He's cool.
little bit of booze. He can stick around until I've chugged it. Then he has to go. Grady.
That is a really good scene, though. I love how apparently the writer just decided, screw it, we're going to have a farce. We're going to have a scene from a farce in the middle of the Star Trek episode. It's great. And now we have another one of those scenes where somehow she's on the command center of the space station at a time when no one else is there.
Obviously, there are other people there. See, there's a dude in the
There's one
background.
guy in the background.
That's not a complete sentence.
He cut her off.
Chris Kringle, are you sure? Because maybe it was the camera person's,
The camera person was going into business for themselves.
be like, hey,
Check
I
it
know how we can make
out.
this popular. Karash, no idea. I just these. Now I will say on like if I go up here, I've got a separate audio controller for the window for Netflix, and then there's the YouTube has its own audio controller
I
as well.
usually
So can...
I turn my YouTube down a little bit so that I can hear Dana.
What, like you have trouble with that?
Well, I don't want, I mean, yeah, you're right. I could definitely hear you anyway, but I want to make sure. Three, two, one, pause. So, I mean, I really like that. By the way, I'm paused at 32:44 remaining. I'll go ahead and get the paused time code up on the screen for people.
So responsible of you, and thoughtful.
But yeah, I really like that scene with like the farcical scene. But you do kind of get the impression that like we're to the first commercial break, and it's 32:44. I'm sorry, I got the wrong. I put the time code up, and I put the wrong one. It's 30, and we're paused at 32 at negative 32:44. Negative 32:44. But anyway, yeah, you can kind of tell that like we're to the first commercial break, and Kira lost her job at the end of the last episode. We're at the first commercial break of the next episode, and she's not even off the station yet. So it's like,
but we're gonna three-parter.
Well, that's exactly where I was going. I was going like, well, we're doing a three-parter, so let's not get let's not rush into this too much.
Besides, she just lost her job at the end of the last episode.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, it's interesting how you
get the reactions to it.
Yeah. And yeah, and like I say, that the scene with everybody showing up in Kira's quarters is a really terrific scene. It's a scene from a farce. It's a slamming door farce, except the doors don't slam because they open automatically.
They swoosh.
It's a swooshing door farce. It's a swooshing door farce. Exactly.
You need to tell Jason about that.
Oh, we totally do. We totally do. It's a swooshing door farce. But yeah, so I really a hissing door farce or yeah, something like it's a sound effect door farce.
Nusrat Khan, no. That's absolutely not true.
Anybody can wear stuff like that.
Yep, because it's stretchy. So you just sort of wiggle and pull more and just squooch it all around.
And yeah, Grady, you pointed it out. I guess you missed it when I pointed it out earlier. But yeah, that is Richard Bamer, Lee Nollis, is probably best known as being Ben Horn on Twin Peaks.
I just can't take it seriously.
What? Ben Horn?
Yeah. Twin Peaks.
Twin
I
Peaks.
got your Twin Peaks right here, baby. Although I really shouldn't be saying that.
It's very inappropriate.
No, I just meant, I mean, I'm more the hills of Tennessee.
Ah, nice. Nice. 255 AD asks, do you think it's fair to say Julian and Dax's development in these early seasons suffered because of the focus on Kira and Cisco? No, I don't think that was the problem. I think Bashir and Dax's development, especially once we get here into season 2 a little bit, I think their development comes along pretty nicely. I mean, I guess you could argue that they weren't developed a whole lot in season 1, but I mean, you know, neither was. I mean, it's not as though it was just the Kira and Cisco show. I mean, I think a lot of the characters got some face time, you know. Yeah, Dorota Trekkie, yes, and the Minister from the beginning, Jaro, that is Frank Langella, who was Skeletor in the live-action Masters of the Universe movie.
Oh,
Not
that's
Skeletor,
nice.
not Skeletor in the cartoon. Although Skeletor from the cartoon does appear in a future episode of Deep Space Nine. There's a little bit of trivia. Both the live-action Skeletor and the voice of the cartoon Skeletor appear on Deep Space Nine in various times.
That's nice.
And Skeletor, cartoon Skeletor, plays a Starfleet captain.
Okay.
Ah?
Also, let's not. Oh, I can't say that yet, can I?
What?
Another Starfleet captain who doesn't exist yet and is related to certain people.
Oh, I see where you're going. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I can't talk about
You
that.
can't. No, that's coming up yet. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that this Friday?
Yes. She's talking about the Ensign's log.
It's a really great episode.
It is a good episode. If it turns out as good as it was when we recorded it, which it always does, because Jason's a genius. It's a good episode.
Moment if I read that wrong. You know, Jeremy Irons Lolita. I was like, wow, that's rude of me.
He's so versatile. I mean, you talk about an actor with range.
No. I was just, it's a verb. His last name is a verb.
Jeremy Irons Lolita. Jeremy, what are you doing?
Jeremy Lolita.
That's hilarious.
Oh boy, I swear, you guys, I haven't been drinking.
That's hilarious. Ace PC2, we are watching season 2, episode 2 of Deep Space Nine, and we are currently paused at the time code that is right up there. We're paused at, or if you're watching it on Netflix, which is where we're at, we're paused at 32 minutes, 44 seconds remaining. So when we start back into the episode here in a minute, that's where we're going to be picking up from. So if you need to sync up, go ahead.
I'm gonna disagree there. We are not told this. Like by the narrative, Kira says this, and that I draw an important difference there. What we're told is that Kira believes these to be her friends, especially with the beat before she says these are my friends.
Right, because it's like
a meaningful. She's acknowledged. Yeah, it's a significant pause.
Indeed. Ah, yes. Where would melodrama be without it?
I thought it was a farce.
Well, in that scene, yes, it was a farce, but it was
a melodramatic farce.
Well, I would say, hey, when Bareil shows up, the farce is over. Well, like that's the last when the door swooshes open and Bareil's there, it's like, all right, fun's over.
Yeah. I have more fun now.
I actually don't. I mean, I love the plank of wood jokes. I actually don't dislike Bareil as a character nearly as much as a lot of people do, but he definitely brings the room down when he shows up.
Just like if you started hitting them with a plank of wood.
He found the actor found a tone for that character, and he said, "I'm just gonna stick with it."
Radio Burles, that's great. I think that pregnant pause's water just broke.
These are my friends. I've got to go.
Somebody's coming. Whoa.
An overabundance of gravitas. That's a nice way of putting it, Homebody. He has an overabundance of gravitas.
And his name is Spooky. Can I say that? Because I just did.
You're just throwing in random details of an episode that people haven't even heard yet. Um,
But when they hear that episode, they'll be like, "Oh, that's what Dana was talking about."
yeah,
No,
they'll be like,
actually, they'll completely
oh.
forget about it.
They probably
That's
will.
okay.
Yeah. I had 255 AD. I don't know. I think probably people on our show have compared him to a youth pastor before. It sounds familiar. Yeah.
Really?
I
The
don't really
guy
see
who
it.
walked in at the end
Yeah,
of that
Brile.
scene?
Yeah. I
A
don't really
youth
see it
pastor?
personally.
What? No.
Youth pastors are, in my experience, are usually a lot more ingratiating than he is, and a lot more
Yeah,
like,
like they're trying really hard to
yeah,
be, approachable.
come on, guys, I'm the cool pastor. I'm like,
No, not even that,
hanging
but
with the
like, you
kids.
know, it's really important that you have someone that you can talk to. Okay.
Yeah, approachable,
Exactly.
relatable.
Ooh.
Tell me everything. Tell me everything you're doing.
Oh, bless them. They try so hard.
I'll absolve all your sins. That's my youth pastor. Do you like that?
Oh. So is that the Michael Worley spinoff?
Tell me
Please, can we have that show?
the creepy youth pastor. Tell me your sins.
My
Tell
child.
Tell me everything and take your time. Yes, Dana is telling dolphin jokes, Jonathan.
Grady, I don't think that's entirely fair. I mean,
The charisma
like,
of a wet noodle.
well, but I'm like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I find a wet noodle far more appealing than a dry noodle.
That's true. Noodles are meant to be consumed. They're not meant to be eaten dry, unless it's like a crunchy one, like a chow mein noodle. Those are good, but like a
That's true.
pasta,
That's
but like a
true.
pasta noodle, yeah, you want to cook it. You want it to be wet.
Well, even like ramen noodles, wet noodles.
That's true. That's true. 255 AD. I think Michael would hate youth pastors because he would consider youth pastors to be pandering, and true religion does not pander to the people. Like God's not going to chase you.
God's going to do whatever God wants to do. If
Why
God
should
feels
God
like
try
chasing
to
you,
why should God try to appeal to you?
excuse you.
I'm just
Who
saying
are you to say what God should or shouldn't do?
I'm the guy who wrote and performed Michael Worley.
Well, Michael Worley needs to
Well,
stop talking for God.
Well, obviously that's part of the joke.
Well, I don't find it very funny.
Well,
actually.
pardon me. My goodness.
Michael Worley wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't. Okay, so shall we get back into the episode?
Let's do that. I still want that. That could be a different show. Maybe they're like in competition.
How about the youth pastor, Michael Worley?
And like
the creepy youth pastor.
They could make angry videos about each other, but not
boy.
like actually about each other. They could like
be passive aggressive,
egg booking.
Yeah.
Yes, I want this. Maybe I'll be the. I don't want to be creepy though, because it's just, since I'm a teacher, that would just kind of be weird.
But you'd be performing a character.
Yeah, we saw how well that worked out before, Steve.
Oh, that's true. There was that one incident. Yeah.
Just one. That's all it took. And then I got to have a conversation.
Some people have no sense of humor.
Oh, they have one. It's just not the same as mine.
It's just not very good. Anyway, okay, so we're going to get back into the episode. Everybody, just as a reminder, if you need to sync back up with us real quick, we're paused at 32:44 remaining.
TikTok, Steve, it's almost 7.
I'm going to take
that
down.
And you got wrestling.
I know I got wrestling. We're going to go through this now, okay? Okay, everybody get ready. I'm going to count us in. Dana, are you ready?
I'm waiting on you.
Well, then let us wait no longer. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Chris, I love that. God's all the way up.
Super God.
Caitlin, I'm glad you're here. You'll have to just use your imagination.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Caitlin.
A short theater play of What next when? No, we're watching Hilda next
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Hilda's next Wednesday. Karosh, that will
She's
be
in Peter
stealing from.
Pan.
Yes. Oh my god, that costume is totally Peter Pan, isn't it? Or Robin Hood. Maybe she's joined the Merry Men. Ah,
She's not straight.
she's not straight. She said it.
Oh,
It's canon.
okay.
You like being not straight? Cool.
Dick
Radical.
Van Dyke was marvelous in what? Yeah, Dick Van Dyke is marvelous.
And
Is
pretty much
that?
everything.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know what specifically they're referring to.
Can I stop you?
And that was during the Holocaust. So, bear that in mind.
Why?
Uh, if that had been his answer, I need to feel useful. Why?
About time, about yours, about mine.
But did the orbs have to double up? Stare into the magic hourglass. I converted to your religion.
I like her hat. It's really pretty.
Yeah. Are you wearing my clothes? It's kind of kinky. Are you not wearing my clothes? They're doing a Braveheart.
Well, that's a hell of a thing.
I just find this whole experience very upsetting.
Oh, upsetting. That's what the kids are calling it now.
He's a talking baseball card. 255 AD. Touche. In my day, we had baseball cards.
Baseball's boring, Steve. Just accept it.
I'd rather watch baseball than Moulin Rouge.
I know, because it's boring.
Damn.
Seriously, like that's what we're talking about. It's why you like what's his name?
Go ahead.
The short guy.
The short guy.
Yeah, he was short, wasn't he?
I don't know who you're. I mean, perhaps if I knew who you were talking about.
Uh, the guy who did the house falling on him. And
Buster Keaton.
Yeah, wasn't he short?
Yeah, he was shortish.
Okay, yeah.
And you're saying you like him. You're saying he's boring?
Yeah, because like he's quiet and he's gray. Like you don't like color and you don't like loud, lots of loud sound going on. You just like boring things, Steve.
That's why I like silent movies, because they're quiet.
Peace and quiet. No like children, no singing, none of that.
I like a movie that gives me my peace and quiet.
Sarah Scott, a Pokemon is a pocket monster. It's just oh, wait. Hey, look. See? Look, it's a pocket monster. 5'5" That is not short-ish.
Okay, 5 short. He's short, but he had a big heart and a big drinking problem later in his life.
255 AD. No, they do not. More evidence that they are boring.
They evolve into bigger baseball players if they take steroids, and that was a big problem for a while.
And then they stopped taking steroids and they got boring again.
According to some people.
So, bonus. See, exactly, Sarah. That's all you need to know. It's all good. Oh, safe and secure. That's not good. They're going to kill you. See, Tom Cruise. Oh, great timing.
Tom Cruise level short.
Sylvester Stallone level short.
Ooh. Neither one of them, all due respect to both, neither one of them is fit to carry Buster Keaton's luggage.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Tempo, pick it up. It's called weather. I love how she pretends she doesn't even remember Kira. That's right. You helped to foil my plot to assassinate Barial last year.
Blah, blah, blah. If somebody gets shoved in the creek. Sarah, Scott, if you're below that, you're not short, you're fun sized. Like a
Pocket
candy
size.
bar. Wow. Y'all are so small.
Rambling
And
Johnny,
then please leave.
please feel free to go. Just let it play.
So apparently I couldn't be a dancer, but I could be a stripper.
So the question of are you human or are you dancer is you're human.
Dragon.
Oh well, never. Well, but in human form apparently. Are you? Are you?
Yes. I'm pretending to be a human.
You have a video about that coming out in
I
what?
do. So
You're
excited.
you're scheduled way ahead. Is it like next week or week after next?
I think week after.
Yeah.
I'd love to play Nurse Ratchet. That would be fun.
You would be a great Nurse Ratchet.
That would be so good.
You would be a great Nurse Ratchet.
Yeah, Caitlin, exactly. Well, I think it's I hope that's how it came across to me. Even a week if you like. She's like, get out of here. And they're also Trekkie that's tall-ish.
Grady, yeah, it's Ratchet with a D.
Well, for me, it'd be Nurse Ratchet. Because that's what I'd have. My 5'8" is tall for a girl. I know it is, but it just seems so weird. Like it's still within normal like levels. You're not really tall for a girl until you hit 5'9", I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Sarah, good point. Nurse Ratchet is a character from Futurama.
Really? I did not know that. Significantly less cool in that case. For what I've got to give. When you're good to Cisco, Cisco's good to you. Do, 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 do. What? No, Grady. Runway height? Really? Dang. 5'9". Yeesh.
And by the way, Darl to Trekkie, opinions vary, but I think One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is an excellent movie.
Wah, wah, wah. Does your ship not have a bathroom? In that case, yes, that's bad, but so
Love O'Brien back there in the background rooting through this guy's stuff. Yeah, Homebody, I like the book too. Yeah.
Don't say in a few minutes, you dumb butt.
In the meantime,
Say
please,
soon.
please
You
be
say
my.
soon, or as quickly as possible. But we also have to make sure to take the necessary time to be careful, since your shipment is so delicate.
Especially with these bastards looking over my shoulder. That crate had an Odo pocket. I'm just standing here in the middle of the woods doing nothing, dude.
Eight-inch heels. I mean, that's platforms, right, Sarah? Please tell me that's with platforms, because
Back to
no,
reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
500 is not a few. Yeah, Corey, Germans are tall.
For a coupe.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Guess I'll just stand here on this rock for a little while longer. I'm huge. She's been attacked by druids. 3, 2, 1, pause. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. So, what a dramatic turn of events. No, you're. I'm paused at 14 minutes, 20 seconds remaining, by the way. I will put that time code up on the screen here in a second.
Yeah, Grady, I'm with you. Six-inch heels are rough. Five, I can manage, or I used to be able to manage 5-inch heels. I actually have a, what's it called? I have a bone spur on my toe. And so like I can't flex my toes all the way. So I have to wear short heels now.
Well, you're quite naturally tall, though. I mean, so it's not as though you're, you know.
Yeah, I know that honestly, heels have more to do about changing the contours of the leg than they do
because you're
adding height.
Yeah.
Yeah. They give the calf more curve. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about balance, Sarah. I will say the difficulty for me with heels is going downstairs. That can be a challenge. Grady, that's interesting. Why does boots? I'm curious why boots helps. Anyway, I'm sorry, Steve. We're supposed to be talking about DS9.
Well, no, I mentioned I called them druids, and Chis Kringle in the chat is called them Jawas. They're like, yeah, they're like these humongous Jawas. They're Jawas on.
They're Jawa enormous.
On growth hormone or something. Or maybe it's that we never realized it, but things in the Star Wars galaxy are just that much bigger than they are in our galaxy. And we never noticed it because we only see people in that galaxy, but actually everything is bigger. So in Star Wars, the Jawas look like about like that, but they're actually as tall as we are.
So not everything's bigger. Everything except Jawas is bigger.
Well, no, everything's bigger to scale. So like everything's bigger than it's so
So a
it's
short Jawa, if we brought the Jawa over to our universe or to
it would
our
be
galaxy,
it
it
would
would
be tall for
okay.
us. It would be tall
Okay.
for us, but they're short by their standards. Yes.
No, at 250, 580, I got out of Vietnam by being not born yet.
Best way to get out of it. Best way to get out of it. I'm told
Maybe
being
also being really rich would
I
be
was
nice.
I was going to say being rich and getting a bullshit posting in the National Guard because of how rich you are.
Oh, wait, that's supposed to be her love interest? Whatever.
All Jawas being short is a hurtful stereotype. Well, that's you know what? I
Eh,
apologize. I apologize for perpetuating
no,
that
just
hurtful
shorter than people.
stereotype.
Like, people have a range of heights, too. I mean, I don't think there's ever been anybody under 2 feet tall, and there's certainly been nobody over 10 feet tall. So there's a range of heights there.
Also, Jawas are the living rebuttal to that Randy Newman song, Short People Got No Reason to Live. Because Jawas have a great deal of reason to live. I mean, they're always doing something, buying and selling, and they
They're
seem
like
quite.
Ferengi in that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. You
buying
know
and
what?
selling.
Yeah, they're like land. They're like land-based Ferengi.
That's a bummer, Rafiki, Rafiki.
Yeah, it's a good point. Kira's love interests throughout the series aren't always the best. Yeah,
They're like, but she's straight, y'all.
yeah, that's part of it. Well, it's not. They're kind of like. I think all of her love interests end up being basically like Barial in the sense that they're just not that interesting. It's not that they're bad characters or, it's just like they're just kind of dull. And it's just like, why does she? Like, if she's going to be with somebody, why has it got to be this dull guy?
Well, I mean, it depends what happens as far like if she sticks with somebody, that's fine. But like if they just have the significant glances and the orb experience and that's it, then that's not really a love interest.
Well, that's not it.
That's not it.
No.
They stay together. Well, that's dumb.
There's more to come.
Isn't that the orb experience? It looked very much like that was the orb. I
and,
mean,
and and could I call that one a pregnant pause, or is that too on the nose?
that was not nearly long enough for a pregnant pause.
Okay, I'll pause longer next time.
She's looking for stability.
She's looking
she had
for
it
stability.
With her job boring. Stability does not have to mean boring. You can have like a stable relationship and have interesting, like you can go on adventures together. And
wood
the
is very
relationship
stable.
is stable.
Wood is very stable.
Is it? It burns.
Corey, yeah, well, that's true. The pregnant pause takes place after the come, and mine took place beforehand. So, boy, you're picking my shit apart like Dana usually does. They're learning from you.
Yeah. I'm a teacher. I got nothing, man.
Well, then, shall we finish this episode?
Sure.
We got 14 minutes and change left. Okay, so once again, we're paused at 14:20 remaining, and we'll get back into this and finish this episode. How about it? Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Again.
As always. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
255 AD. Rambling Johnny. That's a good one.
An aborted pause.
Whoosh
Maybe.
of active transport. There you go. It's very, very clear and specific.
Whoosh.
Oh. Why would you do that, Grady? I mean, they're just not. I don't know.
Okay, big reveal coming.
Ugh. At least we don't need shoulder pads.
I know it's a shock to everybody to realize that Frank Langella is a villain, but just try to go with it.
Spray hell? Just an annoying one.
Mm.
WWSD.
Exactly. Put her in the mind sifter. That's a long lunch.
Oh, is this how they get rid of him? Does he die heroically?
Don't get ahead of it now. Derelta Trekkie, I think Mind Sifter was the title of a Star Trek Phase 2 episode, or also called Star Trek New Voyages, but that's also the name of a piece of Klingon technology in the original series, the Mind Sifter.
Yeah, I think I've got a problem with the circle, and like we just heard that, people are getting attacked. Okay. Like, and they're spray painting on the station. I'm like, we're supposed to believe that this is a serious threat, and
Yeah,
I don't care at
they're not.
all.
They don't seem like
They're
they're
like
doing.
tagging doors.
We have to stop
Who
them.
cares? Who cares?
It's like you're in space. Don't you have other shit to worry about?
It's like, yeah. It's supposed to be really dramatic, and I'm not. I'm really bored by this episode. I'm sorry.
Well, it's the second part of a three-parter, and like we discussed earlier, they are kind of. I think they're stretching a little.
Hey, they do nice jump tosses.
Later, suckers. Let it play. Let it play. Let it play.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna finish this.
Oh,
Director Trekkie Lionel Luther appears in one episode, I believe. The great John Glover.
do they though?
Apparently not.
I've got to do something.
This is my fight, not yours. Whoops.
Oh,
Get me someone on the phone. They do call me the jackhammer of the Celestial Temple.
oh, you tease. Oh, I used to use one of those.
When you were an altar girl?
I don't know what they called them. No, there was a word for it. I don't remember off the top of my head. Acolyte. That's what we were.
Ah, there you go.
Oh, so she wants power too.
Well,
Everybody wants
yeah.
power. Blah blah
Everybody,
blah blah blah.
everybody want that power. I'm gonna go over to this window.
Maybe it's an honorary name, Chris Kringle. Like, oh, we really liked this guy. Like, You're dun dun dun.
Cool. Ooh, big scary Bajorans. Should you maybe tell
Caitlin, I
them?
am quite happy.
Except for when we do sometimes.
We ignore the prime directive whenever the plot demands. Oh, well, that'll take a lot longer.
Wink.
Well, then we need to prepare to defend our stuff.
Yeah.
We ain't leaving any of our stuff.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun dun dun.
To be continued. There you have it. There we go. So there we go. That is part 2 of the epic 3-part season premiere of season 2 of Deep Space Nine. So you found that episode a little boring.
Actually, a lot boring.
You found that episode a lot boring. Is it the most boring episode that we've watched so far?
I think based on the number of times that I took my cursor and was like, how much time have I left? I think I've done that more this episode than I ever have before.
Well, that's a.
I mean, I think that's that's one way of.
It's
I mean,
definitely an
feelings are
indicator.
very subjective. I mean, it's hard to say, but I was just like, it's very dramatic, and I don't care. Like, they need to make it work. They should have. First of all, the circle, like,
Yeah, you keep mentioning that. Yeah,
it's like a dumb name. They tag doors, and then we're like, oh, they're very dangerous. I'm like, yeah, you've given no evidence.
yeah. I will say,
I don't know, Caitlin. It's not even that. Like, I don't. They have a fight scene. Didn't care about that either. I'm like,
yeah. Well, and a lot of it feels like, I mean, there is a little bit of action in it, but the action feels kind of pointless because, like, the big action in this episode is Kira gets kidnapped, and then by the end of the
and that
episode, they've
happens
got
like
her.
whoosh. It just happens. Like,
Well, they get her, and then they get her right back. So it's like, oh,
well, not only
okay.
that, like, she doesn't, like, there's no. I mean, she doesn't try to fight them off. She's
right. They just run up and grab her. Yeah.
They run up and grab her, and my subtitles said that there was a hiss of like a, they.
Oh, because they give her a thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Didn't really care. the fact she didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. They just show up like, whoop, they're there. Um, da, 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 da. So yeah, normative, you say it's with a nice escapist fantasy about a xenophobic populist demagogue. He doesn't, he doesn't do much demagoguery in this. I think that would have made it more interesting if he had been sort of this person. He's boring. He's not a demagogue. He has the potential to be very charismatic. I can see it there. He doesn't get the opportunity. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the episode is full of missed opportunities. I'm just like, okie dokie.
Caitlin, I think puts her finger on it there, which is that the plot, and especially in this second part that we just watched, it's almost all set up for stuff to come in the next episode.
Okay. God, I hope it's
And
better.
oh well, the next, yeah, but the thing is, it's kind of, I mentioned it already earlier on. They did a 3-parter that really probably should have been a 2-parter.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not sure why I know, like, when you watch in the Deep Space Nine documentary, they talk a little bit about this and about how it was the first Star Trek series to do a 3-part episode period, and certainly the first to do a 3-part season premiere. And it's almost like they kind of made a point to do that, like they wanted to do that for the first time in Star Trek. And it's like, well, but this doesn't feel like there's not enough.
Do a good job at
there's
it.
not well. There's not enough. There's not enough story here for three episodes.
No, I think there could have been. They just didn't do a good job of it.
Well, yeah, there could have been, but there wasn't.
They could have expanded on the circle. They could have shown. They could have shown some of the consequences there. They could have given the guy who turned out to be a villain, have given him some speechifying to do. They could have had a fight scene with Kira and her attackers, easily could have non-padded it out. They could have easily had it be good 3 episodes, and they didn't.
Or at the very least have directed Frank Langella to ham it up a little bit more as Jarro, because as you've mentioned before, like, the character, he doesn't have a lot to do on the page, like and Langella plays him so sort of, he's trying to underplay it and sort of have him be soft and kind of sinister. But I mean, it's Star Trek, and you're surrounded.
Not only that, but like, the idea that he's popular and people love him. I mean,
so yeah, apparently,
have him smile more, have him be affable.
Yeah,
not even necessarily over the top, but just chit chatting. Like one of the things that I've heard about Bill Clinton is that he was really hard to dislike. Like, you just liked him.
He's like almost compulsively gregarious. Like,
really. I've always wondered what that would be like, because I mean, I think he's kind of a sleazebag, but
apparently not in person. Yeah.
But I know. But I'd love to see like what it's like to meet somebody that I already have this preconceived idea about, and then to be around that sort of personal magnetism.
Kris Kringle, I mean, I'm not saying it's not Star Trek to play a subtle villain, but I mean, can you name a subtle Star Trek villain that was any good?
Grady Burrells, I'm curious what you're saying. I can't think of any. I'm curious. I don't know where. I don't see the parallel. Unless it's about power, and then there's like a bazillion stories about power. Macbeth is just kind of overt.
Yeah, also, I guess if you're
No, it doesn't work, because like Macbeth is about killing the king to become the king, and the consequences, especially the consequences of what you do in order to gain power. Like, it makes it, the doing bad things makes you become the sort of person who does bad things.
Yeah. And in Macbeth, you kind of get the impression that like Lady Macbeth is sort of pushing Macbeth to go to greater extremes, and it doesn't seem like Jarro needs any. It's not like Wynn is like whispering in Jarro's ear and telling him do this, do that. Like, Jarro is already completely committed.
But I'm not keen on. Actually, there's somebody around here is doing Macbeth, and I didn't audition for it, because I'm like, Lady Macbeth has a big part. and has some good lines, but just the character is inconsistently written. Had he not looked like my father, I would have done it. Like, she goes in to kill the
Yeah.
king, and then she's like, oops, changed my mind. I'm like, I would have, you know. Nope. You did no. I'm the no regrets. Okay. I make
255
up my mind. I do the thing. I do the thing, you guys.
255 AD and Chris Kringle both with good suggestions, but I don't think either one of those characters is subtle. I mean, especially not Gul Madred. David Warner as a Cardassian. I mean, maybe he's more subtle than, say, Gul Dukat, but yeah, I mean, I don't think either one of those characters is.
Y'all can just make whatever suggestions you want, because I'm not going to know.
Because you wouldn't remember. No, I mean, I do think Gul Madred is a memorable villain, but I do not consider him a subtle villain. No, he's a very theatrical villain. He's David Warner. David Warner plays him. How? He's not a subtle actor. Like, he's a great actor.
Was he as subtle as my Miss Minchin?
your subtle
Miss
Minchin.
I'm to get back to theater now that I've turned down Lady Macbeth, or not turned down. I didn't get
They were begging you. They were beating down your door. Please play Lady Macbeth. Please.
I would have made a great Lady Macbeth, but
I'm sure you would have.
Here's the thing. I would have made a great Lady Macbeth, but Shakespeare didn't write the role well enough for me to audition for it.
Can I tell you something? One of my big when we read Macbeth for the first time in high school, and I think we did it again in college.
As one does.
Yeah, I know everybody reads Macbeth in high school, but it annoyed me from the first time I read it, and it still annoys me that Lady Macbeth is killed off stage, and it's just mentioned in like a line of dialogue in the last scene.
What? The last scene?
Well, maybe not the but near the end of the play, like not the very last, but yeah, there's one line where, and it's like, blah blah blah, who like died of her own hand or something. My
lord is dead.
And it's like, oh, okay, she was kind of important. She's kind of an important character, though, huh? Yeah, she's dead. Oh, okay.
No, there's a whole soliloquy. She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace to the last syllable of recorded time.
Yeah, but she's dead by that point, right?
Yeah, he's reflecting on her death.
She's dead, but so she dies off stage.
Yeah. But like, they have more than one line about it.
I haven't read it in 20 years. Give me a break. But yeah, I wish they would have. I mean Shakespeare. I wish she would have gotten a better exit.
She didn't get fringed as bad as Portia does. Dear God.
she makes it through most of the play. I mean,
well, Portia makes it through most of the play. She makes it to Act 4, but oh gosh, Portia's just done so wrong. Kate Linnell, no, she's not fringed, because I would say I don't think her death necessarily gives Macbeth any additional motivation. He's already killed the king. He's already decided he's going to do whatever it takes to stay being the king, that kind of thing. So it's not like she's not fringed in that sense of the word. She's just, a character a female, one of the only female character of note in the play.
Yeah.
Not the only female character, but the only female character of note. None of whom, I think it's her and Lady Macduff. I think that's it. And they both die.
Boy, and by the way, Shakespeare was really hurting himself to name those characters, wasn't he? Macbeth and Macduff. And who are their wives? Oh, Lady Macbeth and Lady Macduff. Okay, sure.
Well, that was that seems, not only was it for the times, but also in Shakespeare's time. Like, for a long time, was you take your husband's name, there you go.
Well, why do you have to make excuses for him like that?
Because he didn't know no better. Yeah, I'm not real big on, if I could have a role from Macbeth, it probably would be Macduff. The scene where he finds out that his wife and kids are dead. Nice little soliloquy there.
Oh, I could bite into that.
Yep.
255 AD says if the Cardassians gain control of the wormhole, it'll totally change the power balance in the galaxy. The Federation doesn't think they have a strategic interest in stopping that.
No, it's the Admiral's job to say we have to follow the Prime Directive.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, in reality, yeah, there's no way that. I mean, if the especially because like think about this. Always remember the Federation is the United States. There's no way the United States would be like,
Is
well, we're
backing
just
down from
yeah,
anything.
we're just going to give up this
Yeah,
incredibly
besides, the
important
United States,
strategic.
no, see, but that's not it. The Federation is not the United States, because the United States would not have a space station there. They'd be on Bajor.
Right? We'd be like, okay, we'll handle this from here.
Yep, we got this, you guys. And they'd have like the Cardassians coming in, and they'd be like supplying weapons to the Cardassians, so that the Cardassian, like the rebel groups on Cardassia, so that the rebel groups would take over Cardassia, and then the rebel groups would try to take over Bajor too, and we'd be like, oh, whoopsie.
Yeah, there'd be a much more active galactic CIA.
Yep.
If the Federation were exactly like the United States.
Yeah, David C. Drake. Usually not so much.
David C. Drake, exactly. Welcome us as liberators.
They're not applauding. Why aren't they applauding?
Frankly, Captain, I think the Klingons will welcome us as liberators.
Are we the baddies?
Are we the baddies? We've got skulls on our caps. I mean, the other side have things that are quite jaunty, quite optimistic, flags and stars, and we've got skulls.
So, our housemate has a far less flexible suspension of disbelief.
Indeed.
And we've started watching the new She-Ra.
Oh boy. Okay, well,
like, how does she not? How can they're? It's called the evil. They're even telling you it's called the evil horde. Everything's green and there's smoke everywhere. Like, and then the people who come and you're fighting people who sparkle. How do you not?
How do you not get?
The
yeah.
guys, the bad guys are.
Your whole aesthetic is evil. Aren't you paying attention?
Lime green is evil. We know this. We know that.
Your home base is called the Fright Zone, dude. You're not on the good guy side.
So yeah, it's like okay. It's
not
but real.
Well, no, and to me that's. I mean, there's and the
way the characters react to it is hilarious. And I mean, like Kat was saying,
yeah, like
I mean, because Katra plays it totally like,
yeah,
she's like, we're bad guys. What?
I thought we were all on the same page with that.
How did you not know this? Yeah, we're the bad guys. So what?
We like being the bad guys. That's our whole deal. What? You're not into that? You thought we were the good guys this whole time?
You really thought that we were liberating people? You dumb dummy head. Oh God, Catra's awesome.
Catcher is pretty great. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
255 AD says, would you like to see them return to Bajor in the new shows? Now we can have the CGI tech to really show off those pseudo-Eastern cities. I mean, that wouldn't be the reason why I would care. You know, I don't really care about that. But I mean, it's the same answer I always give. If there's a story.
If there's
I mean, if there's a good story. If there's a good story. Yes. I do feel like, and not to spoil anything for you, Dana, because you know it's not. But I mean, as Deep Space Nine goes on, they do spend they pay less and less attention to Bajor, and even though the show itself continues to be really good and actually gets a lot better overall, I kind of like the Bajor stuff. So, I mean, yeah, and as long as there's like a good story there, of course, I would love to see more about Bajor because I think that's a compelling, you know, setting and a compelling with potential for compelling stories. But I mean, what I like, I that's like when people say, "Oh, in the new Star Trek show, would you like to see X, Y, Z?" Like, I don't want to see anything just for the sake of it. You know what I mean? Like when people, oh, we should get more stuff about the Klingons, or we should get more stuff from on a particular planet. I don't care about anything just for the sake of it. If there's a good story, absolutely.
Yeah, not only, I mean, generally there are things that, like things that I know I could do a good story about, and I'm like, you better, if the part of me, I'm ambivalent about it. Like in one sense, I'm just like, yeah, they better do this because there's a good story there. But there's a part of me that's like, oh God, please don't go there because you're not going to do it good enough. You're going to screw it up. You're going to screw it up if you do it. And don't play with my toys.
Exactly.
Or like I want you to, but I want you to play with my toys in a certain way. You have to do it this way.
Yeah, don't.
And then sometimes they do. I'm just like, I'm not interested in this, and then they do something that is like, well, I wasn't interested in that, but now I am.
Yeah,
because they did something good with it, and I wasn't anticipating it. And then it's like, oh, yay! It's like bonus good.
those are actually some of my favorite pieces of media, whether it's a movie or a TV show or anything. It's when you watch something and you can say to yourself, "This is not at all what I would have done, but this is
And
great."
it's still good.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah, I
That's
love
so
that. It's one of my
nice.
favorite things. It's because you have you especially if it's like an established thing, like a long running thing, like Star Trek or Star Wars or superheroes or whatever. And like you're if you're a fan, even if you don't write fanfic, you probably have like your little fanfic in your head of like, well,
Head canons.
here's what I would do. Yeah,
Head canons.
head canon. Like here's what I would do, right? And it's so nice when you watch something that completely goes against whatever your headcanon is for that character or for that world, and it is still so good that you're like, I don't even care. Like it's not, it's
I
not.
haven't had that happen.
You've never had that happen?
Not that I can think of.
Wow.
Like I've had, like they essentially it's not that they've taken something that I like and gone in a different direction. Like they focused on something that I don't care about, and they've
And
come
made
up
you
with
care
something
about
good.
it. Yeah.
Yes, that has happened. But like, I mean, I haven't seen a Batman movie in I don't know how long because I'm like, they're gonna screw it. They're not gonna do it right, and they haven't.
See, Batman would be my number one example. My like because you haven't seen this. You've never you never actually watched The Dark Knight. But
Is that the second one?
The Dark Knight is the second with Heath Ledger as the Joker. You told me you hadn't seen that one, right?
Right.
You saw the first one. You saw Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the one with the stupid microwave.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes, I'm right there with you. The stupid microwave. That's when that movie just takes a nosedive. Where it's like, okay, it's gonna get stupid. It's been pretty good for up to this
And
point,
also,
but now it's gonna get really stupid.
Why do you start out with freaking Rachel Gould? Whatever. Fine.
I
Fine.
know.
Whatever.
I know.
It's stupid,
I know.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Build to Raish. Raish is a big deal. Build to him. Don't shoot him
Thank
first.
you. And also, Rach is, a complex character, a well thought out character. Whereas, you start with sort of, I don't know, you start out establishing Gotham with like the people of Gotham and the society and like something that we won't talk about. The feel of Gotham and the Gothic architecture and
yes,
all of this.
Indeed. Well, but anyway, so the Dark Knight is not at all the Batman movie that I would make. And generally speaking, Christopher Nolan's take on Batman is not at all what I would do if I had the chance to make a Batman movie. But The Dark Knight is a fantastic movie. And to me, it's not even a competition. It's easily the best Batman movie. Like it's not even close. Second place, I don't even know what's it's not even
it
close.
has the now that was something yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, see, well, I was gonna say it has the Joker in it, so it's not a good movie.
Well, I know you don't like the Joker, but actually one of these days we should watch The Dark Knight together just so I can get your reaction to Heath Ledger's Joker, because Heath Ledger's Joker is so good. It's so good.
Oh,
and I'm so sorry. I'm very, very I'm very, very sorry that he died and it was a tragedy. But in terms of the movie, it's almost a blessing because he only played him once. You get one perfect movie. They didn't bring him back for a sequel. You know what I mean? Like it was like there's one perfect movie with this absolutely definitive version of this character. and it's perfect just the way it is.
That's one
You
of
know,
the few things that I was not keen on about Suicide Squad. I was so, and I knew they wouldn't do it, but I was really hoping that she
oh,
actually
that
like
that Harley would
blew
kill the
up the
Joker.
Joker, and it's like, no, it's just symbolic. I was like,
Yeah,
okay. I mean, it's still a beautifully, it's Margot's her face is so flexible, and
she's great.
her reaction is great, and it's adorable, and it's nice and sparkly, but God, just get rid of the Joker.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, we're getting down to the wire here. So
Yeah.
would you like to tell the folks about your YouTube channel and
Oh yeah. Hey
tell them what
everybody.
you want?
I have a YouTube channel, and I really, really, really like it when people leave me comments. And I want to give a special shout out to Sarah Scott, because Sarah's been leaving me comments, and it just means so much to me.
No.
And I really appreciate it. And it makes me smile. And I'm like, oh, somebody said something on one of my videos. Yay! And who would be the Joker? I don't know. It doesn't really matter, because they would die. Yeah, it wouldn't matter, because it would happen off screen. Maybe I'll include that. Like, it happens off screen.
Nobody would be the Joker.
Nobody would have to be the Joker. It would be just like it was in Suicide Squad, except we find out about it afterwards.
Like, oh yeah, the Joker was in that building she blew up.
Don't care. There's too many Jokers. I'm tired of it. Move on. There are so many good villains. Okay, so yeah, I have a sorry. I have a
so
channel.
your channel is linked in the description.
Uh-huh.
I'm
guessing.
Yeah, yours? It is.
Okay.
People should watch. People should watch and leave you comments.
Or just leave me comments. You don't really
she doesn't even care if you watch the videos, y'all. Just leave comments.
Tell me how your day's going, or just what you think about the topic, or whatever. It's all good. And or tell me what you thought of the latest Ensign's log, or one of Steve's videos or Star Trek stuff that I probably know nothing about. That's okay. I just like, oh, somebody said a thing, and it's very happy making. I don't know why.
You just like to get mail.
I do.
You just like to get mail.
I will say comments are not as nice as getting a letter that's addressed to you. Like not just a card. Cards are nice, but like getting a letter. Oh my goodness, that's just the best. And it's like, hey, it's a letter, and you get to open it, and then like somebody's written you about their day, and oh, it's so nice.
And yes, Corey, thank you for reminding me. I was going there next. Don't forget the charity links, charitylinks.page, which is also linked in the description. And that if you follow that link, it'll take you to a Google Doc that is created and maintained by our friend Some Random Geek, which has links that you can follow to donate to some friends of ours who are in some financial distress. And it has PayPal links and crowdfunding sites and legal defense funds and stuff like that. So if you have a few bucks extra to spare and you want to help somebody out, charitylinks.page, and we would really, really appreciate it. Also, if you want to become a supporter of my YouTube channel, you can either go to patreon.com/Steve Shives to become a patron, or click the join button down there somewhere. I think it's over there. It's underneath Dana somewhere, I think, if you're on the YouTube page. Go click the join button and you can become a channel member. And either one really helps me out a lot. If you enjoy my YouTube work and you can afford $1 a month, $2 a month, $5 a month, whatever, it really helps me out tremendously.
Steve, yes. What if they become like a member now? Can they still put in a question for Friday's Ask Away?
Yes, they can. Because the next time I stream will be on Friday. It will be Ask Away, where I always answer questions that were submitted ahead of time by channel members and patrons first. So yes,
but how would they get the notification?
They wouldn't get a notification, but the post would be visible to them in the members only area of the channel or the patrons only section of the patron page. So you'd have to go. You'd have to go and look for it, but it's there. You can see it. Yeah, so you could get the link to submit your question ahead of it. And if you're already a member or a patron and you haven't submitted a question and you want to, you should go ahead and do that, because you have until the start of the show on Friday.
Look, geez, you don't have to pick on me just because I haven't submitted my question yet. Ugh.
I wasn't trying to.
Well, you did, even without trying to. So there.
Corey, I wouldn't know. One is not really any better than the other. If someone is neither a patron nor a member at the moment, it's whatever's more convenient for you. I mean, it
Six of
really
one, half dozen of the other.
exactly. So yeah, so I'll be back on Friday for Ask Away, and then
Also on Friday.
yes. Oh, we have our new Ensign's Law coming out.
Yes.
Yes, and it is. You're right. It is a good episode. It's a really good.
It's
I mean,
almost well, yeah. I can't.
it's a good episode.
It's gonna be great.
It's a really good episode. So that comes out Friday as well at letmelistenpodcast.com or on SoundCloud. The links to listen to the Ensign's Log are in the description as well. And then Dana and I will be back in a week's time next Wednesday to watch the next episode of Hilda.
Hilda!
It'll be chapter 3, The Bird Parade is what we'll be watching next week. So that's it, everybody. I am off to go watch wrestling. Yeah?
Oh, it's good. It's
well, yeah,
good.
I mean,
it's so good.
I hope you have seen it before, because that's the whole premise of this series.
Oh, yeah. Steve, would I lie to you?
Never.
Oh, that's not true. I'd only lie if it was fun.
Okay. Well, I'll accept that.
Okay. Good.
As long as you have a good reason.
Absolutely.
Of course.
The enjoyment of others is a perfectly valid reason for, making you miserable.
Well, at least there's that. At least somebody's having a good time. All right. So, Dana, thank you as always for joining me.
Steve, thank you as always for having me on your channel.
Well, of course, anytime. And we'll see everybody.
Don't say that. Like 3 a.m. is not a good time.
Are you going to call me at 3 a.m. and go, we have to live stream now? Get up. I must stream.
I don't know how to do it.
I have no mouse and I must stream. I thought that was pretty good on like zero notice. So, I mean, I'm going to ask for.
But I do have a mouse. That's literally, it's like it's in the next room. We have, there's a baby mouse, guys. Yeah, let's just go.
I thought it was a good.
We'll tell you if you remember. And as I'm sorry. It wasn't
I thought it was good, and you stomped all over it. You had to be like, but actually, I do have. There was a problem with it. Thank you, David. Thank you, Corey. At least somebody appreciates. Anyway, that's it, everybody. I got to go watch wrestling.
If you ask next week, guys, I'll tell you about the mouse. We got
there'll be a mouse story, I'm sure. Well, we have to wait. We have to wait to see how everything turns out. But anyway, okay.
Also, wrestling. Have fun.
Wrestling. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later. Have a good night.